Hey guys, welcome to October astrology. Let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about as we start this week. We've got a couple different real serious aspects taking place. Number one, you guys, this week things may be happening that just have an air of unbelievability, disbelief, okay? May sort of be like a common theme in the experience this week. There could also be people really struggling with sort of like a loss of sense of self, okay, or some type of personal loss that is coming up and really defining a lot of the experience this week. There is also energy that is really pushing for things to happen, like in our world, in our 3D environment, that is opening our eyes somehow, creating some type of very powerful and transformative awakening or revelation and a fusion of both mental and emotional energy that is propelling us towards some type of active change. This month of October has a lot to do with redefining the self, stepping away from our personal paradigms of the past, essentially, and, going through perhaps an ego death that is leading to a rebirth that is really redefining our perception of self, our relationship to self, and how we perceive our abilities, capabilities, and purpose actually moving forward. So there is a lot of energy going on to start this month of October that could be bringing up some issues, okay? So weird vibes, weird energy, and people are likely to be acting strange to start this week. That being said, let's get into the report, you guys. Let's look at this energy in all of the details. Let's talk about it. Let's see how things are coming together and how this energy may be impacting our experience on the ground to start this month of October. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Monday, October 2nd, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. If you guys stick with me until the end of this report, we are also going to be looking at a collective tarot reading that I have done for us for the week. Whenever I'm doing these videos, I like to tap the energy field from more than one modality, just so that we can get a more well-rounded, holistic overview of what's playing out for us on an energetic level on this channel. We do astrology, we do symbolism, we do numerology, we do tarot cards, we do energy interpretation in all of its forms. So anyways, all that being said, let's get into it. Let's start this reading for the first week of October. Monday and Tuesday specifically, we really have some big time energy going on to get us started this week. We have a Mercury Neptune opposition going on Monday, followed by our exact activation day 1 of Mars and the South Node coming together in the sign of Libra on Tuesday, which will continue into Wednesday. So, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week, we are in some exact activation energy, one dealing with Neptune themes, one dealing with South Node themes. Both Neptune and the South Node have to do with, loss, what's dissolving, what we're detaching from, what we're being released from. Neptune, this is the Lord of the sea, right? This is this watery energy that erodes and dissolves things and can bring up, feelings of self-doubt and loss. Okay, and then we also have the South Node, which literally is associated with the past, with endings, with karma, with what we are detaching from. And Mars, of course, this is action, this is energy, this is the self. So this is an active detachment, an active release, from something. But it can also be bringing up, a sense of feeling like, oh, I might be losing my mind, okay? Like maybe my sanity is just totally dissolving right now. And in some cases, with some people, it really might be, okay? With the Neptune, Mercury, the mind, Mercury is the mind, and Neptune is this energy that breaks things down. And then, because it's happening simultaneously, this is enhancing these themes, right? Of Mars. This is the self. This is the ego with the South Node. Having to do with endings, having to do with loss, having to do with what we're detaching from, like I said, karmic situations. So between the mind being impacted by the Neptune influence and the ego and the sense of self being impacted by the South Node influence, I will tell you, there is a very good way to use this energy, and as we get to the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys, some pointers about how to actively engage in the use of this energy in such a way that is very, beneficial and productive and may actually help to alleviate this energy sort of taking us. It's like if we get in line and if we use this energy in the way that it's meant to be used in a conscious way, a lot of times that can sort of alleviate the universe's like unconscious expressions of the energy playing out in like maybe less pleasant or planned ways in our lives. Okay, so there are ways, and like I said, as we get towards the end of this report, I'm definitely going to give you guys some very good uses of this energy, because there are some very productive ways to use this energy moving through this first week of October as well. But like all that being said, you know, feelings of loss or losing something, this could also be some type of material thing or project that we've been working on with the Venus Libra energy that we have going on right now. This could also, you know, Mars is in the sign of Libra, the South Node is in the sign of Libra. We're going to be talking about this more as we go through this report, but it could also be something to do with finances very much as well, with the Virgo Mercury influence. Virgo, of course, also is about the harvest, you know, what we've been working on, what we've been cultivating, what we've been developing, this material, like earth-based, asset-based energy. Okay, so, you know, it could have to do with relationships, groups, friends, partners, with the Venus, Libra, Mars, South Node energy, or it could have to do with the Virgo themes, okay? Finances, what we've been working on, what we've been cultivating, sort of what we've been putting our energy in towards and like working towards bringing to a harvest. It could also have to do with, you know, things to do with health as well, health and well-being and lifestyle and habits. I will tell you guys, this is an excellent time to break habits that maybe we have not been super good for us, have been maybe self-destructive in some type of a way, but have defined like a previous age or era of our lives. This is also energy coming through where it's like the end of a phase, okay? You know, like how they say, especially like with children or whatever, like, or people just generally, people go through phases. This is the end of a phase. If you know somebody, you guys, that has been in a phase, some type of phase for like several years, like a long period of time, whatever, you may come to find like at this point in time, all of a sudden they've just sort of like snapped out of it and they're like not interested in that particular phase anymore. And they're just like coming back to, you know, maybe a more original version of themselves. Okay. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. But like I said, either the Libra or the Virgo type of stuff is what we're looking at specifically in terms of what we may feel like is breaking down in this energy. Although, and I will talk about this more as we get through the video, there is also, even though, okay, Mercury and Neptune in opposition, this really clouds our judgment. This really like makes things very like fuzzy and non-linear and like non-clear and like foggy and murky. It really gives a lot of Mercury retrograde vibes. Neptune is actually functioning right now as a midpoint in between this other energy that we have playing out today, which is a grand trine in earth signs. In a grand trine in earth signs featuring Pluto and Uranus and the moon and Mercury nonetheless. And with Neptune functioning as the midpoint in between Pluto and Uranus, like literally another way that this energy could like very significantly manifest is like suddenly waking up from some spell that we have been in, or some state of hypnosis, okay, or some illusion. This is, you know, it's like what just popped into my head is like, this is totally random. I don't even know why this example came into my head, but this is like people who, it makes me think of like people who have been like in like a cult or something like that for like an extended period of time. All of a sudden something happening that like wakes them up to the illusion that they have been just like held within for like this extended period of time, and like sparks this change, okay, or this desire to like make a sudden change in a big way, like very materially and like very soon. Because we have also simultaneously, this is, you know, another thing that we need to talk about, this grand trine in earth signs playing out today because of the position of the moon in the sign of Taurus conjuncting Uranus, Mercury right in the opposition to Neptune, our exact aspect for today. But also in a trine in earth signs, we've got the moon and Uranus at 23 degrees of the sign of Taurus, Mercury at 27 degrees of Virgo, and Pluto at 28 degrees of Capricorn. So, you know, this is not exact, but it's relative close enough. And the moon moves quickly. So the moon is going to be hitting the exact trine and, you know, the exact conjunction to Uranus, and then the exact trine to Mercury, and then the exact trine to Pluto throughout the course of the day. So the moon is like the glue that is melding this. Though it's not an exact grand trine, the moon is making it so, you know, essentially it is. And so we've got that, all right? And that, like I said, with Neptune functioning as a midpoint, could be snapping us out of something that has been holding us in some state of illusion or hypnosis, okay? But again, regardless, okay, regardless if it's functioning to like wake us up to something or snap us out of something, or if it's just generally bringing like a layer, you know, of confusion and disorientation to what we have going on, there is still likely to be this common theme of sort of making us question ourselves, who I am, right? What am I doing? You know, what's my purpose and where do I actually belong? With the Mars South node coming through, that's going to be a lot of what we are dealing with over the course of the next year while the North and the South nodes transit Aries and Libra. We're really going to be redefining who we are in the context of who we are relating to. So, and that energy is being activated, of course, in extremes this week because the North node in the sign of Aries, this is ruled by Mars, okay, who is with the South node. The North node, you know, we talked about the South node. This is what we're detaching from, okay? This is, you know, this is karma, and these are the endings that are coming through. This is what we need to release ourselves from so that we can gain and grow and learn the experiences and the wisdom associated with the polar opposite of the South node, the North node, the destiny point, where we're going and what we're becoming and what we need to learn, grow, and evolve into now. And so with the North node transiting the sign of Aries, right, this is the sign of the self. This is a 1.5-year journey. It takes the nodes about 18 months to transit any sign. And with the North node in the sign of Aries, this is a personal rebirth, okay? This is a 1.5-year period of time of redefining the self and our relationship to the self in the context of the group, and essentially like the way that we have diminished self to fit into the group and to maintain, you know, the peace and the conformity and like all that Libra harmony and all that Libra stuff in the past. And, you know, with Mars ruling the position of the South node in the conjunction to the North node, this is the time when like active detachment is happening for the purpose of moving us in that new direction that's associated with the North node transiting the sign of Aries, okay? So whatever endings, whatever loss of sense of self is a function of our experience, okay, this week and this month, we have to remember that it's ultimately for the purpose of really helping us to go through a rebirth in the context of our sense of self and to really redefine ourselves in alignment with some, you know, very authentic truths, our true potential. There's a level and a layer of destiny that's being activated in this energy. And, you know, today we have a Moon-Uranus conjunction as well. Uranus is the energy that makes the changes for us we haven't been able to make for ourselves. This is also the energy associated with our transition currently into the age of Aquarius. I'm telling you guys, changes that are happening in the energy today and this week. Yeah, we may feel like we're losing our mind a little bit. We may feel like we're losing ourselves a lot of it, but ultimately it's going to be for the purpose of this extremely, you know, powerful transformation that helps us to redefine ourselves in such a way where we begin to acknowledge like our true strength and our true capability, and we find this like courage and motivation and like passion to pursue something new and to go in a new direction and to like, you know, carpe diem, seize the day and stuff like that. Like that's the type of energy that we are moving into personally. It's our personal like leadership era. This is also a period of time that is going to be really emphasizing the themes and concepts of the hero's journey, overcoming previous states of victimhood that have kept us held back and attached maybe to, you know, groups and friends and situations and perceptions of self that were not in alignment with universe's true vision for us and, you know, the destiny that we came here at this point in time in this transition of ages to activate and be a part of, okay? Anywhere we've been standing in our own way or our relationships have been standing in the way of us becoming who we've always been meant to be, that's what is going to get washed out, okay, in this Neptune energy, or burned up, okay, in this Mars energy, so that we can like get right with ourselves and start this process of, you know, this self-actualization, okay, that is also very synonymous with all of this that's going on, and it is a requirement for collectively for our transition into the age of Aquarius. So honestly, again, like people are probably acting kind of crazy this week. Lots of earth sign energy going on. We've got the Taurus moon, we've got the grand trine and earth signs going on. Whenever we have a lot of earth sign energy playing out, you guys, what do I always say? Things are happening on the ground. So, you know, it's likely to be a very eventful couple of days where the things that are happening might be triggering certain things or bringing certain things up or causing certain other things to happen that are impacting us along the lines of these themes that I've been talking about, you know, awakening to something, figuring something out, seeing something through a new lens or perspective, doubting perhaps everything, including ourselves, trying to figure out, you know, who we really are now and, you know, where we belong. Like I said, that seems like, you know, what we're pretty much going to be wading through. As we move through this week, people could be very delusional. Like I said, there is a very powerful visionary component to this energy as well. Whenever we're dealing with Mercury and Neptune, you know, this can also function two ways. Mercury has to do with polarities, and Neptune, Pisces also have to do with polarities. And so, you know, there's a higher octave of this energy. There's this extreme, like, visionary energy, especially also with Mercury simultaneously in the trine to Uranus, because that's what's really going on. We have an exact Mercury-Neptune opposition, but we've also got a Mercury-Uranus trine, and we've got a Mercury-Pluto trine, and we've got a Pluto-Neptune sextile, and we've got a Uranus-Neptune sextile, and then we've got the moon, who is a trigger planet for energy, activating all of it, okay? And so, you know, Mercury is the mind. This is what we're thinking. This is what we're talking about. This is our perception of reality, okay? We've got Mercury in the sign of Virgo, but with this grand earth trine, with Pluto and Uranus and the moon, it's literally like, okay, some type of sudden mental or emotional, like, charge or like electric impulse that's hitting us, like synapse or something, or it could also be like an awakening, but it has this very powerful and transformative effect on us in the way of like spurring some type of sudden change, okay? It could be hard to understand. It might seem unreal. It might make us question everything. Again, back to this Mercury-Uranus energy, or Mercury-Neptune energy. But that's just sort of what is indicated when we have this particular planetary lineup playing out. So, you know, on one hand, it's like this powerful visionary energy, but on the other hand, it could really be bringing out the crazy, you know, sort of demonstrating the fine line between genius and insanity, you know what I mean? Like genius and crazy. So we could find ourselves sort of hovering somewhere in between there. And we don't want to be too hyper self-critical, okay, because we're already probably dealing with, you know, some issues like in and of our own selves when we've got all this going on, okay? But it does, like, it seems to continue to go back to something that is just sort of unbelievable with Neptune, okay? Neptune rules the spirit world. Neptune has to do with everything unseen, but it also is like illusion and fantasy and, you know, the fog and the mist and that which is untangible and just like hard to grasp and hard to conceive of. And when it's hypnosis and it's projection and it's narratives, and it doesn't necessarily represent anything to do with like actual tangible truth, okay? And when we're talking about Neptune being in the polar opposition to Mercury in Virgo, which is essentially, I mean, literally the exact opposite energy. Mercury in Virgo is clear, concise, like coherent, like streamlined flows of information and, you know, just very tangible grasp of reality and organized and critical and detail oriented and all that. All the exact opposition of what we have going on when we've got Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So we've got these two things like juxtaposed to each other. However, Mercury and Neptune are both simultaneously being activated by both Pluto and Uranus. This Pluto is transformation. Pluto is death and rebirth, okay? Power, very, very powerful force of change. And Uranus is also like awakening and, you know, this sudden electrical charge or impulse that makes things known to us on a very like almost prophetic type of level. And it also rules sudden change and it snaps us out of stuff. It's the awakener. Whereas Neptune puts us in a hypnosis or puts us in a slumber or, you know, puts us in some type of daze or something like that. Uranus is the exact contradictory force that snaps us out of that, that like shakes us out of that. And so in Pluto, this is a powerful transformation. And they're all three of these outer planets are retrograde. And of course, with Mercury there in Virgo, this is the logical mind. So we've got like, it's just a perfect setup. You know, if we didn't have this trine playing out and also Neptune being sextiled by both Pluto and Uranus, these are supportive aspects. These are facilitating aspects. There's some level of distortion that is being alleviated. Like there's some level of illusion that is like being snapped out of, or that is being like, we're seeing into the depths, or it's being transformed, okay? And then it's in the context of how we're perceiving reality with Mercury there. It's in the context of how we're thinking, of our perspectives, okay? Of the information as well that we are gaining. So, breaking spells, okay, dispelling illusions, snapping out of like a daze or a trance or a hypnosis, like this could really be a major function of the way that the energy is coming together to color our experience this week as well. Like I said, just suddenly feeling like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing? You know what I mean? And then needing to make some huge, sudden, unexpected, maybe for the people in our lives or the social groups, changes, maybe go in a new direction as a result of that. So that is, it seems to me what perhaps this energy is going to be doing in terms of our lives and the way that it's impacting people generally, awakening us from some slumber. Uranus and Neptune that really transforms us somehow that we didn't even realize was clouding our vision, coloring our judgment. That's what we're talking about. So this is a weird energy, you guys. This is a weird day. This is a weird intro to our week. Probably a weird week. Honestly, probably a weird month. Honestly, probably a weird next couple of years. To be completely honest, people could really feel like they're losing their grip on reality, or like I said several times, even like losing themselves in some way. So we may want to be just a little bit more gentle with people today. You know, try to mind our business to some extent, you know, not really try to like interfere with other people's processes, okay? But just realize that it's a disorienting week and people could be going through a lot personally. This is a lot, especially also with the moon's involvement. Like this is stuff that's happening in all this outer planet retrograde energy. Like these are like big things that are happening on a very internalized level. And that, okay, just that. So that's basically essentially, you know, what we're looking at for the energy for Monday specifically. Now moving into Tuesday, this is our day one of the exact Mars South Node activations. Mars will move to 25 degrees of Libra, where the South Node is right now, and that will activate this mode of active detachment, okay? Personal loss and endings in regards to ourselves and others. You know, as I said, Mars, this is the self in the sign of Libra, which is about the other, and this has to do with the South Node, which is the past, with it, which is karma, and which is the release point, okay? Ego death could very much be associated with this. And then also with the Mercury-Neptune opposition, this is also dissolving. This is also a downfall of something, perhaps. Now, like I said, I really don't want everybody to sort of get, you know, worried or, you know, scared or like assume the worst, okay? There are ways that we can use this energy, that we can, consciously manifest this energy in our lives to exert just like a little bit. You know, we don't have a whole bunch, but there are small ways that we can help to, you know, consciously control some of the outcomes of our experience. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But actively purging something this week somehow is likely to be a prominent theme through this process, though. And I will tell you guys, like, This month is interesting because we start off in all this energy of like self-doubt and like the themes of like a loss of sense of self, somehow needing to figure out who we are. But by the time we get to the end of the month, we've got this big full moon that comes up at the end of October with a Mars Jupiter opposition. We are going to have a renewed and actually much expanded sense of self, sense of trust and belief and faith in ourselves, sense of self-confidence. Okay, whatever it is that we are losing in regard to self to start this month, it has the effect somehow of actually helping us to expand into ourselves more as we exit the month. Okay, you know, we will find our strength. We will come to redefine our perception of who we are and what we're capable of by the time that we reach the end of this energy, this month of October. So there is a purpose behind it. This is purposeful energy, and you know, what we are letting go of, or, you know, walking away from, releasing ourselves from, detaching from, ending in this energy, it's not going to create a void that is just like sucking us in. Okay, it may be that way for the first, you know, week or two, perhaps moving into the third week of this month, but by the time we get to the end of the month, we will have a renewed and restored sense of self, and that will be brought to us also by an expanded, like I said, sense of confidence, belief, trust, faith in ourselves, and, you know, in who we are becoming now. So we're not attaching, you know, to any type of fears or anything that are coming up in this energy. It probably is not the most upbeat couple of days. I will say that Neptune influences and, you know, the South Node influence as well may really have the low energy. That's another thing. There may be, you may find it hard to really like get the, you know, the gusto up to, you know, really be motivated. There could definitely be like a lack of motivation, a lack of willpower, a lack of energy and assertiveness coming through this week as well. People could definitely be more on like the passive aggressive end of things going on, may not really just like have a kick in our step or whatever that little saying is, pep in our step, and like it might be just hard to get motivated to like work out or like do physical activity. Again, just like passion's a bit dry, okay, as this energy is unfolding. But it's a really, really good energy for figuring ourselves out, figuring things out personally, okay, and also letting things go. Now, let's talk about the productive ways to use this energy. As I said, actively purging things from our life this week is going to be a good way of consciously engaging in this energy so that it doesn't, again, like sort of unconsciously function in our lives, maybe in ways that we would prefer it not to. Now, you know, we're at a period of time right now, you guys, especially with the Uranus involvement, like there's a huge air in the nodes, the divine intervention, okay? There is a hand of God that is making things happen in certain ways right now. Uranus makes the changes for us that we haven't been able to make for ourselves, but that are necessary for us to come into universe's, ordainment. I don't know if that is a word, but the potential that universe has ordained upon us and wants activated right now. If we're not doing that, if we're hiding from that, if we're avoiding that, if we're trying to run away from that, no, it's not going to work. Universe is going to put us where we need to be put, you know, whether essentially we like it or not, because we are transitioning the age of Aquarius. This transition is really heating up right now. A lot of what is playing out over this next couple of years is going to make it very apparent to us that we really are going through some type of paradigm shift, okay? And in order for that to happen, all this stuff that's going on has to happen. So, you know, there is a level of things just being totally out of our control right now. However, like I said, I do feel like a conscious engagement in the energy has a tendency to lessen the severity, okay, of what we might personally experience if we are allowing this energy and these forces to play out unconsciously, like I said. So all of that being said, a week of active purge, great for active purge of relationships, of course, with this happening in the sign of Libra, but also just in terms of what no longer fits you, what no longer suits you, the images, right, or the identities that we have been wearing, that we have been defining ourselves by, okay? This is great for getting rid of what you no longer want. Art, beauty, fashion, music, also anything along the lines of these Libra themes. It makes me think of, like, you know, going through your closet, getting rid of the clothes that are not your style anymore, that were part of an old era, okay, that were part of that old phase, that are not a reflection of who you are becoming and, you know, who you're growing into now. Getting rid of the old identity in terms of, you know, even like cleaning out, you know, going through makeup, you know, old music maybe, or again, like art, you know, house decor and stuff like that, that we're just not feeling anymore. Any part of like our personal image, okay, that is outdated, that is a reflection of who we used to be, but not who we're becoming now, that we have like adorned ourselves with. This could also be like jewelry or, you know, nail polish, like I said, like makeup, anything beauty, anything aesthetic, anything image based, anything musical, anything decor, okay, anything fashion, all that type of stuff that was associated with the past version of ourselves or that we've just been holding on to too long. This is an excellent period of time to get rid of that type of stuff, okay? That is us actively purging along the lines of Libra, all right? Using our energy, Mars, to get rid of, to detach from, to throw out the things that we wore that are no longer a reflection of who we're becoming now. Great way to use this energy. This is also really actually good energy for like a haircut, you know what I mean? Or like maybe a makeover, okay? Some type of like redefining our image somehow, recreating our image, or like cutting off like the old like dead ends that are no longer defining who we're becoming now somehow. So that's a good way to use this energy too. Literally, like Mars is the physicality of things. It's the physical body, physically changing ourselves somehow. This is also, you know, even though it's not the most like high energy, this is also a really good time with the Mercury Neptune influence as well to engage in like changing habits, changing behaviors, changing lifestyles, changing routines, like workout, fitness, diet, nutrition, like anything along those lines is also going to be very beneficial at this period of time. So, you know, any way that we can like physically like change something to help release ourselves from a past version of ourselves and create a personal image of ourselves to ourselves that is in alignment with who we're becoming now. This is a very good way to use this energy that is likely to, you know, if you are consciously engaging, using the energy for what it's for, it is less likely to pop up in ways that are, you know, unexpected or just less pleasant, okay, in your life. Of course, this is also, you know, going to be a very good time for going through maybe your friends list or, you know, going through any changes in relationships. If there's been a situation that you've been needing to cut yourself loose from, if there's been a breakup that's been pending for a long period of time, if there has been, you know, a social community or group that you've been needing to take your exit from, this is a very good time to do that as well, especially, you know, if we're consciously doing it, if we're making that choice, because that is us, like, taking responsibility and consciously using the energy, which is, you know, especially in the nature of, like, the karmic, like, well, I said the nature, I want to say the karmic nature of this energy, but I already used that word, so I'm looking for another way to describe it, but I'm not going to try that hard. Because of the karmic nature of this energy, if we can, you know, sort of show universe that we are actively applying wisdom that we've gained through experience, it's just likely to go more in our favor. So that's what I'm going to say about that. That's the best ways to use this energy. Some type of active purge, letting go of the past, letting go of things and material things from the past that had something to do with who we used to be, but just who we are not anymore, okay? So that's, you know, the vibe. All right, that's the vibe. That's what we have going on. Now we've got some symbolic energy going on as well. And we've got some black moon stuff that we also need to talk about as we wrap up this here little report. But on a symbolic level, I do feel like the symbolism associated with both Mars and the nodes, while we have our Mars node activation going on, is really speaking to what is playing out in these larger themes at play as well. On Monday, okay, we have Mars at 24 degrees of the sign of Libra. That Sabian symbol is a third wing on the left side of a butterfly, talking about some sort of unusual or wild or unexpected transformation, metamorphosis, something that doesn't normally happen, but it's happening, something that, you know, you might think is unbelievable, a third wing on the left side of a butterfly, but there it is, you know, some type of transformation or metamorphosis that is unexpected and that maybe we've never seen anything like it before. It could be somewhat unbelievable. Like I said, sort of the vibe of the week. And then tomorrow, okay, and we'll be talking more about this energy. This is our report that we have coming out for Wednesday. The central focus is going to be the Mars South Node conjunction. So we'll actually be talking more about this. But the position where this will be happening and will come into fruition tomorrow, because Mars, it takes Mars typically 2 days to transit any sign of the zodiac. And so Mars activations are typically 2 days. Mars is moving pretty fast right now, but it's still going to be a relative 2-day transit of Mars in exact conjunction to the South Node. So we're talking Tuesday into Wednesday this week. But the Sabian symbol, that will happen at 25 degrees of Libra, where the South Node is right now. And that Sabian symbol, like, could not be speaking more to change and transformation, all right? That Sabian symbol is, what is it? The sight of an autumn leaf brings to the pilgrim the sudden revelations of the mysteries of life and death. So that symbolism, just everything about it is definitely speaking to overtly apparent themes of endings and beginnings, death and rebirth, most specifically and significantly these personal transformations. Another thing that I need to say, and we'll talk more about this in the energy on Wednesday when we really talk more specifically about the Mars South Node conjunction, as we will thoroughly be in that energy by then. It's also happening in a cardinal square to Pluto. Now, this is not exact. Pluto's at 28 and this is happening at 25. So there's a 3-degree orb, but you know what? Bigger, grander scheme of things, and the fact that we've also had like a quite stagnant Pluto nodal square going on since the nodes entered Aries and Libra. Again, like these themes of powerful transformation. It's the end of an era. We are moving forward in a vastly redefined way, okay? And that is happening through the individual transformations and our personal paradigm sort of being shattered and rebuilt and reformed, sort of in almost like one fell swoop, as this energy comes through, you know, over the course of this month and moving through 2024 and 2025 as well. We are going to figure out, okay, that we are so much more powerful and we have so much more potential perhaps than we ever thought ourselves capable of, or, you know, maybe we always knew that we had it within us, but we didn't know, you know, what the purpose was or how to activate it. Universe is about to show us and we're about to find out, you guys. But anyways, I feel like that particular placement, like the sight of the autumn leaf, okay, we're talking about autumn, brings to the pilgrim the sudden revelations of this revelation energy as well, life and death, you know, transformation. So something, again, like that specific South Node degree is so much also like the Mercury, Pluto, opposition to Neptune energy, really giving a lot of those same vibes as well. Some like grander, just like bigger energy or understanding or notion or epiphany or something, expanded perception and viewpoint, awakening hitting us that just really like creates a powerfully pensive energy within us that has some very significant changes in terms of, you know, also what we are valuing, with Uranus right now being in the sign of Taurus. And finally, there are also, you know, there's symbolism coming through in regards to Neptune and the North Node and the South Node that we need to talk about, indicating revelations, indicating revealing things. Also the Black Moon, who I said we need to talk about to close out this report as well. But the position of Neptune right now, in, of course, the opposition to Mercury and the sextile to Uranus and Pluto, a new moon reveals it's time for people to go ahead with their different projects. We've got the North Node right now at 25 Aries. A double promise reveals its inner and outer meanings. So there we've got another symbolism talking about like active revelations of something, finding out a deeper layer of things, seeing, you know, both sides of the coin, both sides of the story, seeing underneath the hood, okay? And then, of course, as I said, the South Node, the sight of an autumn leaf, brings to the pilgrim the sudden revelations, okay, of the mysteries of life and death, something, another thing that we are, you know, revelations, revealing, gaining information or access or understanding or a different enlightened perspective, something being illuminated for us. And then also the position of the black moon on Monday is 30 degrees of the sign of Leo. That Sabian symbol is an unsealed letter containing vital and confidential information. So this again is talking about something being made known to us that up until this point of time may have been a mystery, may have been hidden. Maybe we weren't seeing all the layers and all the dimensions and all the sides of things, okay? So profound times that we are in, you guys. Likely to be a very interesting and unusual week. And in terms of the black moon, Monday is also our very last day of black moon Leo energy. On Tuesday, when Mars moves into alignment with the South Node, we will also have the black moon leave the sign of Leo, enter the sign of Virgo. Although the black moon energy will not be activated until next week when we have the moon move into the sign of Virgo, like I said, the 10th. Okay, this is going to be a really, really big energetic day. We're going to be in our first black moon Virgo energy. Pluto's going to station direct. The 10th is going to be a big day. However, you know, as we move into Tuesday and we have this South Node Mars energy, that is also the day that the black moon enters the sign of Virgo, which is beginning a new 9-month cycle, okay, and gaining an awareness to some of our shadow side issues in the sign of Virgo. The black moon has pretty much everything to do with the fear of failure, the fear of not being able to bring things into a form of like fruition, okay, not being able to like reap what we've sown, essentially just boils down to this fear of failure. And with, okay, the black moon coming into the sign of Virgo in alignment with the Mars South Node conjunction, I do feel like this is likely to be an entire 9-month cycle of the black moon transiting through the sign of Virgo, where we are actually letting go and releasing some of the fears, worries, insecurities, doubts of personal failure that may have defined or colored our experience up until this point of time. So it'll be interesting to see how this black moon transit plays out, but we are beginning a new 9-month cycle of black moon energy transiting through the sign of Virgo on Tuesday as well. So all that being said, you guys, that's a lot. This has been a long video. Let's talk about the tarot now. We've actually got a really short tarot message coming through, but I couldn't believe it when these particular cards came out because they are like verbatim what's going on in the energy this week. We've got the Emperor in reverse, okay, followed by the 8 of Cups for our cards that came out of the deck. And then on the back of the deck, we had the Tower. You know, as always, there are a multitude of ways that we could read this, but generally, to me, this is talking about the end of an era in terms of what we've been giving our power to, okay? What has defined us, what we have been deriving power from, realizing that maybe that has served its course, maybe we've come to the end of something in terms of how we've been identifying with ourselves and we need to walk away and move on from something. This could be happening very suddenly, with the Tower card coming out. Some type of shakeup or awakening or like sudden event that occurs that causes us to need to make a split from something, you know, maybe again, an old way of identifying with ourselves, or, you know, the ways that we've been using our power, or again, what we've been deriving a sense of identity or power from. This could also have to do with projects and stuff that we've been working on, like what we've been putting our energy into building, okay? figuring out that I can't continue to put my energy into this. Like, I've got to go a separate way. I've got to move on from this somehow, and it may be happening in a much faster way or unexpected way or bizarre way or unbelievable way than perhaps we expected. So again, this is talking with the Emperor in reverse, followed by the Eight of Cups. This to me is talking about the end of an era in terms of some like way that we have been using our energy, power, and authority in our lives somehow. Again, this Mars energy that is coming up, and the Tower suddenly, unexpectedly, but it's Uranus, right? It's making the changes for us we haven't been able to make for ourselves, and it's time to move on from something, okay? That's what the tarot cards are saying for today. Also, to me, this is talking about changing power dynamics as well, with the Emperor in reverse. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. God, Spirit, Universe. What's some additional information? What do we need to know? What's some guidance? What should we sort of use as a mantra going through the energy as we start our week this week? It's just going to be likely to be one of those weeks where we're kind of at a loss for words. Also, with Mercury opposite Neptune, that's definitely another manifestation of that energy. Just totally lost for words for what's happening. It's funny, when I was shuffling my tarot cards this morning, it took me till the third shuffle to even get those two cards coming out. So, but we did have two cards that just came out, and they say trust and it's your attitude, okay? So this is what we need to keep in mind this week. It's your attitude. Straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Matthew 7:14. The only way you can alter your outer conditions is to change your mental attitude. For harmony, peace, and prosperity and health to enter your life, you must fill your subconscious with the understanding that all harmony, peace, abundance, and security is yours right now. So this is talking about these mental alterations, these mental changes that are likely to play out throughout the course of this week. There could definitely be some attitude adjustments going on. Like I said, you know, maybe realizing that our own attitude or our own ego or something about, you know, something to do with ourself has actually been like working to our detriment, working against us, and maybe we need an attitude adjustment, and we figure that out going through the course of this week. The second card says trust. Trust also in Him, Psalm 37:5. Trust in God to lead you to the person you need to fulfill your needs. Make certain you are the type of person that person would wish to associate with. Make certain you have defined your needs and desires before you make your request. Remember, all things are possible through God. So we are becoming the person, okay, that, you know, maybe we've always needed, or as we go through this period of loss as well, we need to trust the process, that it's actually helping us to become someone that is going to attract so much better and more supportive and, you know, more fulfilling relationships moving forward. So it's your attitude, you guys, and trust the process. Everything is working for us, okay? Nothing is working against us. Everything is working for us, even if we may be going through, you know, some more challenging situations over the course of this week, or really may find ourselves questioning everything, or really needing to detach, or really, you know, trying to get a grip on reality or on our own selves or something somehow. It is ultimately because there's this breakdown that is necessary so that there can be this rebirth that is fueled by universe in the direction of actually like helping us to activate, right, this level or layer of destiny or potential within us that for whatever reason up until now we haven't, or, you know, even if we have, this is time to take it to the next level. Okay, we are being the conduit for the divine plan to play out right now, and universe is orchestrating things accordingly. So that's what I have to say today, guys, to start our week, to start our month of October. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up, and I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested as well. Leave me comments. I am so grateful for your presence here. I really appreciate also knowing what is playing out with you guys, how this energy is affecting you. If you are having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about, please let me know in my comment section below. Like I said, I truly value your feedback, your perspectives, and understanding, you know, what's going on out there with you guys in the context of this energy. If you want to know what's on this whiteboard, I post them in a Facebook group that I have that's linked in my description box, along with my Facebook page and Instagram account. And come back with me on Wednesday, you guys. Like I said, we will be going more into this Mars South Node energy, and there's going to be other stuff to talk about. There's just a lot playing out this week, and we're moving towards some big energy that we have coming in on the 7th of October. So that's what I'm going to say today, you guys. Come back with me next time. I'll be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. So I will see you then, guys. Have a very beautiful first couple of days this week, and until next time, bye.